Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin. Anything else? Maybe Ethereum, maybe Solana, who knows? We're going to talk about meme coins and NFTs as well. And today we're going to discuss the market dump over the weekend after the crypto summit, whether or not this cycle is over, and what plays in ecosystems we're currently eyeing that could potentially bring returns in a bear market. It's been a rough weekend. How are you all hanging in there? We've got Easy, Clemente, Signal. Clemente, how you living right now? I know you're saying you're a little tired. How you feeling about this market?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm locked in right now. There's no I would say my body is numb to pain right now. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing another challenge, putting my body through some more pain. So I'm brainstorming right now. Maybe do a little kayak off the dock, something like that. We might do a little crypto jackass this week. So, stay tuned.
I love it. So if anyone hasn't seen Clemente's walrus video where he's running and puking, highly suggest watching that. And we now have a new vertical of content, which Clemente is a little over eager, to be honest, to like participate in. He's like, yo, how else can I hurt myself? Can I jump in a dumpster? Can I publicly humiliate myself? Can I jump through a glass table? What can I do to hurt myself and make good content?
I would like to do the one where, you know how Buffalo Bills fans jump through the table and break it. I would do that. I had someone beat my time. I had to pay him $500. So
Yeah.
This is like an ultra marathon runner. Mash just came in and just crushed my time. It was not ideal, so I had to pay out $500 this weekend. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Adding insult to injury, Mash, longtime listener, longtime fan of our Bodago's entertainment. I see him all the time on the timeline interacting. I mentioned a little bit about how we could potentially navigate a bear market and what we can do with ourselves. And I think this kind of leads right into today's partner for the show, RecTech. Really excited about RecTech. They just finished up their mint Friday. So last time we talked on the show, their mint ended. We let you guys know about that. Next big thing coming out of RecTech is Ansem's game today at noon. If you weren't paying attention, RecTech is partnered with like the likes of some crypto giants, Ansem, Swoosh, Zeneca. But Ansem is very
doggos.
Doggos.
Ansem.
Clemente. Ansem. So Ansem's game kicks off today. The only way to play this is to have a Dream Pass. And the way these games work and the way RecTech works is that it is a daily crypto game show. You participate in these quick little games. They don't take more than 5 minutes a piece. You try to climb leaderboards and you earn real prizes. Definitely something that's in my morning routine. When I wake up every day. I minted 8 of these Dream Passes last week. I play all 8, just run through them real quick. Doesn't take too long. Have a lot of fun, do a little strategy, figure out which ones to like stack extra, be a little more risky on, which ones to be safer on. But Ansem's game kicks off today. I'm gonna share a different screen here with my actual game up because this is on a different profile. So just give me a second here.
What kind of prizes we talking, Ray?
Yeah, I'm about to pull them up. We're gonna look at the prizes.
Season 2.
Ansem's game is season 1. Number 1, first place gets a Rolex Daytona Panda.
Bro.
Yeah, nice little Rolly and a Dreamer. I'll talk about Dreamers here in a minute. Claynassar NFTs up for grabs for number 2 and 3. A Charizard for number 4, and then some Sol or Bitcoin prizes for the rest of the top 100 almost, and also loot boxes. So there's a lot more coming on this ecosystem. We've been talking about this before. Like there is a lot to this. Oh, Clemente's playing right now. So this is today's game. It's Dev Will Rug. So essentially what this is you need to get out before the dev rugs. You earn a multiplier up, and you got completely rugged. Who's that? Is it easier Clemente playing?
This is me. Hold on. I'm going to play on my Choose Rich account.
Okay. Here we go. So Clemente's playing one of the mini games right now. You get to wager a certain amount of money, and your goal is to stack this money and climb the daily leaderboard for this specific game. The higher you place on the leaderboard, the more XP you earn. XP is the key to these games. So these games are all basically based off XP. So when you climb the leaderboards, if you're the leader in XP for that game, for that season, you're going to win those prizes. And XP carries on. It sticks with your Dream Pass. So you want to stack that XP for future rewards. And like when we take a little gander at their website, you can kind of get an idea what some of these future rewards may entail. We don't know if it's going to be XP or if it's going to be like some other metric that's going to essentially like lead to these rewards. But if you take a little meander down their page, you'll see kind of the roadmap, which includes some of their other activations, Pump Fuck, the Mint, Anthem's Game, Season 2, which is a Pudgy Penguin. We scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we see this little dollar sign dream at the bottom. So who knows what that can be? XP carries over. You're gonna want to.
What does meander mean?
Meanders, and you just like lollygag around, walk over, like get somewhere, but not in any rush. Just meandering down the page.
So Ray, if I'm like, I see if I play this Devil Rug game, I get 300 XP. Is that just for playing, or is that for like ranking? And by the way, I'm dominating on Clemente 3 right now. I'm crushing.
So this is like that's the max you can earn in terms of daily XP. So whoever gets in like number 1 on the leaderboard will get that much.
All right. Oh my God, I almost got rugged. I'm ranked 208th right now in Clemente 3. I'm going big here. All in. So Ray, this is so I just got to play this with all of my burners every day. I have so many passes.
Yeah, I've got 8. You can switch within them like super easily, start it up again, fire it up. Like I just stopped for the 1 pass. I'm all done there. Like some of them I'll just like kind of get like a base. See, like I missed one, so he's done. But like I'll try to get like 1.2, 1.5, and then like maybe 1 or 2 passes. I'll try to like really like push it and try to get up on that leaderboard. So that's basically my morning routine with these. Trying to stack XP, get in the top 1,000. There's definitely a lot more. We'll talk about more later on the show. There's definitely some other interactions here, but the main call to action here is that these are tradable on the secondary market now. You can go to Magic Eden, or Tensor, you can trade these dream passes. They come with the XP on them. So like if someone's playing their game and like you want to like kind of like fast pass a bit, you can actually buy a dream pass with XP on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you gotta get like
40th.
Yeah. All right. And looking over at the dream passes now, they're already above floor. We were talking about these all. They're already above mint. We were talking about these all last week. 0.25 mint. They're already up to 0.369 with some volume going down on these already. So we're gonna continue to follow along. These Tech Dream Passes are your key to playing the game. 9,000 supply from the open mint.
What's the price on these?
0.37.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, if you minted these, that's a 50% gainer. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Let's go. Shout out RecTech. Shout out. Hey, we just making that money right now.
People think we're messing around when we're talking about these partners. We pick partners that are winners. We don't take partners unless they're winners. RecTech are winners.
W's everywhere.
W's everywhere. Absolute W's everywhere. And something fun to do, even though everything is falling around us. Pio, we got this nice little like lighting situation happening here with daylight savings time, just like kind of falling in from the side. I like this. How you feeling today?
The lighting is bad, Ray.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of like it. It's like a two-faced kind of deal.
It's not professional. It's very anti-podcast. This is actually Pio's own hell right now.
I'm pretty sure he removed himself from the spotlight because of the lighting there. He's like, take me down.
It's not balanced. But you know what is balanced, or it's not balanced, it's just epic, is the $21 billion ATM offering that was announced this morning. That was people were speculating that was going to be the strategy. And look at that. It was a strategy. I didn't know we had a $21 billion offering about to come through. Pretty epic shit. I think it's worth just explaining what it is, because if you don't care about a corporation buying $21 billion worth of Bitcoin, then why are you here? Like, if you're listening to the show and you don't care about that, then I don't understand why you're here. But yeah, I think that's worth detailing, and then we can just move on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's in the weather report. Speaking of the weather report, are you ready to take it away, Signal? Then we can jump into the show.
I'm ready to take it away, Ray. Let's get this train going on Monday, March 10th. Looking at that crypto round of the majors, they just bounced slightly after the weekend. You got lows with Bitcoin just over 83K, Ethereum at 2,100, and Solana at $130. Over the weekend, 680 million was liquidated from crypto traders as the crypto total market fell 4.5% over the last 24 hours. The crypto greed and fear index fell to 20. We are in extreme fear as Ethereum briefly dropped below 2,000 and set a 52-week low. Ethereum just can't catch a break. Next up, Saylor's Strategy announced they are raising $21 billion in a preferred stock offering at market. This comes after Strategy did not purchase any additional Bitcoin in the past week. And then lastly, there was bullish international crypto headlines as news broke that South Korea is considering adding Bitcoin to Treasury reserves, and BBVA, Spain's largest bank, received approval to offer crypto trading. It is all heading off this season. Anyway, back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always. And in case you were wondering what time dinner is today, when is dinner? It's at 5. Easy made a nice little app over the weekend. I don't know if you saw Easy's coding journey, but he was making some fun stuff, including that. Easy, what were you up to over the weekend?
Dude, I got really into Cursor because I was like, this market sucks. Dude, the more I looked at it, the less I wanted to trade it because I'm like, sure, we could bottom here. Maybe not. But like, if not, I don't want to just be in a long and just get absolutely destroyed. So I was like, let's actually be productive. And took some time to make some stuff and was like, yeah, Cursor's pretty sick. Working on a bunch of cool things. Yeah, it's more just like personal education journey. And I was like live tweeting about it because I was like, this is fun. And I don't know where it's going to go. And then I was like, yeah, let's spin up a dinner at 5 website and see how quickly we can do this. It took about 14 seconds. Found the beautiful photo of PO online. Got that up and out there. And now, so if anyone's wondering when dinner is, you'll be able to check at what time's dinner.xyz later today.
It's a good website.
Great website. We needed it.
Yeah, we talked about MicroStrategy's $21 billion at the market offering for STRK. What exactly does this mean for MicroStrategy, and what does it mean for like potential Bitcoin price action?
Bitcoin price action, who knows? Buying $21 billion of Bitcoin and never selling it is definitely good. I saw a tweet that, all right, so man, dude, all right, I'm going to talk about this too. I got to talk about this part. But real quick, it's 150% of all the Bitcoin that will be mined. $21 billion is 150% of all the Bitcoin that'll be mined in the next 12 months, is the tweet that I saw. So that's pretty gnarly stuff. That means that the Bitcoin that Saylor will be buying won't be from miners. It'll be from, the rest of the market, which obviously has to be good for price. Love seeing Mando acknowledge it. I just had Mando on the show last week. And Ray sat there and listened. Mando's concern last week was that he thinks that MicroStrategy should stop buying Bitcoin because they'd have to, in order to buy a bunch more Bitcoin, they'd have to take on much more leverage, because he did not think that they'd be able to raise as much money from the other pools of liquidity that they're pulling from, like the preferred market, which is what corresponds with this announcement. And instead, it was going to have to all be convertible debt, which is the most levered, strategy that MicroStrategy's implemented. Well, look at that. The Monday after the podcast, Saylor drops a $21 billion ATM offering through STRK, which is, if you guys remember, the security that they issued about a month ago to get access to the preferred market. So very simply put, the preferred market these are specific types of securities. They kind of combine stocks and bonds in some ways. And all you need to know is the institutional investors that buy these types of securities, these are the only securities they have access to. They can't turn around and buy MicroStrategy common stock. They can't turn around and buy the Bitcoin ETF. They can't buy spot Bitcoin on chain. They cannot buy these things. So they had no place where they could actually, and pull up Strategy's Twitter, Ray, they had no place to get exposure to Bitcoin. So what did Saylor do? He baked them a little Bitcoin cake in the form of a preferred stock. He structured a little Bitcoin cake for them, and he gave it to them and said, here's a Bitcoin cake for you. And what's the result been in the first month? 5x the median volume. So let's go. There's a tweet about STRK. If you scroll down, there's a tweet. What's happening? It's one of the best performing securities in the preferred market, despite Bitcoin's pullback, because the investors in that market are like, this is the shit. We've seen what's happened with the bonds that Saylor and MicroStrategy have introduced to the convertible bond market. We want a piece of this action, so they're buying the shit out of STRK. It's got 5x the median volume. If you go down, it's going to come up in a second. I promise it's going to come up.
I just want to make sure I didn't go too far.
It's bar graphs. Yeah, it's gonna fuck. Yeah, wow. Okay, Jesus.
I mean, talk about spam. Jeez.
They tweet a lot. What? No, you're too far back. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you. So we'll show the visual. And so STRK has been performing well. And what did MicroStrategy do? Is they're gonna do a $21 billion ATM offering. What that means is they're gonna dilute the shit out of STRK, as they've done with MicroStrategy common stock. And the people that buy STRK are going to be like, we're fine with that, because they're going to buy Bitcoin with the capital that they raised from this dilution, from this offering. And this is crazy. This is a leverage-free $21 billion that they're going to use to buy Bitcoin. This is nuts. And so, yeah, it's like the most bullish thing ever for the long term. It's really cool. And it's a major monumental W for all parties involved, the Bitcoin party and the MicroStrategy party, and the investors, the institutional investors buying the MicroStrategy securities.
So the interesting thing to me, like, that jumps out and is like kind of like the key headline there, is like, this is more money than the Bitcoin that will be mined at current prices, which is pretty wild. That's assuming like current prices hold over the next 12 months. But yeah, that's a pretty wild takeaway. And has he basically said like this is all going to be going towards like, or mostly going towards Bitcoin purchases?
The language is funny. I almost feel like some of that language he puts in as a joke. The language is like some of which may be used to purchase Bitcoin. In the official announcement, it's like it may be used to purchase Bitcoin. And it's like, all right, dude. Anyway, I just sent you the visual, Ray, real quick. I just sent you the visual, and yeah, I'm trying to find that funny quote, because all right. So check this out. So if you look at the volume on the right, oh, it's 7x. I was saying 5x. Sorry, it's 7x. So the average trading volume on STRK versus all preferred stock offerings since 2015, the median is 5 million. STRK is at 35 million, so 7x. And then the price performance, obviously, it's just absolutely kicking ass, because it's a preferred stock that gives you exposure to MicroStrategy as an organization, and thus Bitcoin, which is going to just kick any other. He's basically just looking at these different traditional markets and saying, well, Bitcoin's going to kick your performance's ass, so let me spin up a Bitcoin cake for you to buy, and you can eat that cake. That's what he's doing.
I love the food references. You're like dinner. We're talking about cake. Like, are you just hungry for some more Bitcoin right now?
Yeah. Real quick, we got Small P Energy living up to his name. He said, I'm boring AF. He's just like, dude, if you talk about anything relatively intelligent, I'm just out. He's like, I'm a dumbass. Okay. Like, I don't want to hear about a corporate entity buying $21 billion Bitcoin, 150% of the Bitcoin that's going to be mined over the next 12 months. That's not interesting to me, man.
Well, 99% of the Bitcoin has been mined anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But the stock's gone from $90 to $92, which is pretty exciting.
That is exciting in that market. It's kicking ass.
It's actually down. Sorry. It's gone from 89.50 to 89.75.
That's what I'm talking about. Appreciation.
I think it's exciting, Nick. Honestly, it's exciting. The more I hear like PO speaking, PO doesn't speak passionately about anything except Bitcoin. And this is the second thing, in all the years that I've known him, speak so passionately about, and it's MicroStrategy, like nothing else, right? And even if obviously there are risks with what Saylor is doing, and I'm not big brained enough to completely understand it, but like clearly the market doesn't either, because I think Saylor is thinking so long term in terms of like how Bitcoin will be adopted across the world, that his advantage will be that he will have such a large reserve and can do all these Bitcoin desserts, as PO is saying, that people aren't even thinking about. And the market doesn't understand that. The market is thinking today, as in this, like how Bitcoin is being used today, while Michael Saylor is thinking how Bitcoin will be used in the future. And because people don't understand that, the price is doing exactly what you're saying. It went from 89 to 92, or like whatever that move was. I think that's what's really interesting, that so few people understand legitimately what he's trying to do, and legitimately don't have the conviction that Bitcoin will be used in the way that he thinks it will be. And that's why PO's so excited about it, and why the audience sometimes is getting bored, because it's not mathing for everyone right now.
Yeah, and real quick, Sig, the what Nick's talking about is the performance of the new security in the preferred market, STRK. There's no 2x. Like, go look at other securities in that market. That's how the securities in that market operate. So it is a very strong. It's a the asset has had a very strong performance. So real quick, I tagged Mando in this because I wanted to see what he said. So basically, where Mando's at with it, and I really enjoyed having him on my podcast, is that he doesn't buy the accretive dilution theory. That he just doesn't buy it. He's saying that you're getting diluted here, which makes sense. Like a lot of traditional finance people, I put a tweet about how the second this investment banking guy I was having beers with found out that I had a crypto company. He left within 10 minutes, and his whole energy changed. And I saw him at another social event, and he like didn't want to chat at all. It was actually pretty wild. We were like having a great time. The second he found out about the crypto component, this one right here, he's just out. He's completely out. Real quick, go back to, and I didn't even talk about him. My friend just said I had a
Did you bring up MicroStrategy?
No, my friend just said I had a crypto company, and
Did you mention what time dinner was?
I didn't say anything. And just knowing I had a crypto company, he was out. Real quick, Ray, go back to the one with Mando and look at our back and forth. So,
I like how we're all like, how it's like, oh, did you do your PO thing? Where you're talking about MicroStrategy? Did you do your thing where I said the market was down yesterday and PO said there's one thing that's not. And
no, I didn't say it wasn't down. I said there's one safe haven.
But it wasn't safe from the blood.
Gold.
It was down 6%.
I guess dinner's at 5. It's got to go up. I guess dinner's at 5.
No, you're just saying that my story is basically you're like, no, I appreciate that you're saying that the market's down, but this one isn't. It's safe.
It is safe.
It's down 6%.
That's
Pio, no, but Pio, you have this way of using the term safe haven in front of people who use safe haven the way the majority of the world uses safe haven.
Yeah,
so I'm sure
exactly.
when you were like talking to finance guys, being like, it's a safe haven, the guy must have just been like, oh my God.
I would never, I
said
said 0 because I knew better to say anything. Just finding out from my friend, I did not mention that I had a
It's like, did Pio say that thing again?
No, he must have made a
Did
face.
he say that thing?
He must have made a face.
Understandable.
Somebody needs to Photoshop this.
Understandable.
Real quick, can we just go back to the back and forth, Ray? And then we're
Michael Saylor and Pio making out.
Or Bitcoin.
So real quick, so Mando's first thing is he tried to say that it's an ETF now, which I love that he said that because it's not an ETF. It's just,
He didn't say it's an ETF. He's making comparables.
I know.
He's trying to find the closest asset comparable. And
Yep.
there is a premium on MicroStrategy relative to its underlying Bitcoin.
And there will be forever, and that premium is going to get bigger. There will be a premium forever, and it's
been
going
down only for the entire year, but yeah.
Mando's take is that
Oh,
premium's going to go
that's
down.
all that matters. It's
Mando's
going
take
to
is
get
the other
bigger.
side.
I'll say it again, Ray.
Mando's take is the other side. He says that premium is going to go down due to this.
That's his right to say. I'm saying long term, that premium is going to go up, and it's going to go up like crazy as they introduce lines of business that actually have to do with Bitcoin, as they become a strategic Bitcoin bank, which they are going to do. So anyway, if you go down though,
But you're betting on that when you're saying that, you're like, yeah, they're going to be a great product company.
yes,
And they haven't demonstrated that. In fact,
You're
they
thinking
were
like
a disaster of a product company. They decided to pivot from a product company to a Bitcoin acquisition company, let go of their old company, MicroStrategy software, which is comparable with things like Salesforce or Oracle or some of these other enterprise software solutions. And they didn't upgrade it at all. They're not known for doing a great job on that front. And so they pivoted to this. And you're saying, but yeah, this time they're going to become a great product company. I guess that's the one thing that I'm like, will they? Like,
as a software engineer, as you often do, the same way that you think about Bitcoin. And so think of it as a financial services company, not a tech company that's going to make apps and make software that's used as like software as a service stuff. They're going to have more Bitcoin. They're going to be Citadel. They're not going to be Apple or what's a good software company? I don't know. Fucking Apple's okay. It's pretty good. They're going to be Citadel. Real quick, all I'm going to say is I just want to show this chart. And I'm a pretty humble guy. I like to think I'm pretty humble. Okay. And I'm not like, I'm humble enough to know that when the best performance.
I don't know that I'd actually use that word to describe you. But
Clemente's dying.
Keep going on.
I'm a pretty humble guy. And so I'm humble enough to see that when a stock, the market is saying this is the best fucking stock, and it has been since August 2020, despite 80% drawdowns. This is the best fucking stock, and it's kicking everybody's ass. It's not even funny. It's going to continue doing that. Why? Because the strategy works. Because Bitcoin's literally the best fucking thing ever, and nobody understands it. Literally.
By the way, what we've seen over the course of the past 3 years is Pio's shift into the Bitcoin maxis that he hated online. Yet instead of Bitcoin maxis, it's been MicroStrategy maxi. Let's keep it going.
When did I say I hate Bitcoin? First of all, I think a bunch of the people on crypto Twitter across the board are just toast. They're just such boneheads. It's insane in every direction, in every single direction. Number two, I'm just humble enough to recognize, like, I'm not going to push back on a freight train. Like, people are just like, yeah, let me step in front of a freight train. I'm going to take it on. That's just wild behavior. People do that with Bitcoin all the time. They're just going to, they step in front of the Bitcoin freight train. A software engineer at the wedding I was at last weekend was just like, yeah, I'm really not sold. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, step in front of the Bitcoin freight train and had to leave.
Dude, stepping in front of the Bitcoin. I didn't say anything.
He went around the wedding talking about the Bitcoin freight train, and they said, hey, how about we put the train tracks out that fucking door right there? How about you take that freight train back to the bar with your buddy that didn't want you to leave?
I actually think Pio's right. I know I'm laughing, but I actually think Pio's right in the long term. Like, if you watch this episode back in the next 5 to 10 years, will Pio's theory on what strategy he's doing have played out and basically become the citadel of Bitcoin and is up there like competing against sovereign nations? Yeah, I do. I think Pio is right. I really, really do. But like, we're all like so, focusing on the news of like what happened on Friday and how come the price action hasn't done anything yet? And
which is the purpose of the news. Like,
I know,
I'm making a
That's
news video, and Pio's like, "Why you like the comment? The comment isn't like, yeah, the price is down." He's like, "Yeah, but it's not." It's basically the response.
You think that an asset is doing well based on its price? Nothing's changed.
You're categorizing me. What I'm saying is the job of that video is to deliver news. And in the context of news, if you watch CNBC, if you watch any other news channel, they come out and they say, today the stock market was down 4%. You could say the exact same thing about stocks. You could take the exact same attitude and deliver the exact same thing to stocks. You could say, I know a safe haven asset, stocks. But then stocks go down 50% during times. And then they also have a similar
stocks aren't safe haven assets. Corporations can't buy stocks. Little publicly traded companies cannot buy securities the way they can buy a commodity. That's why Bitcoin's a safe haven. It's a commodity. No one controls it. There's no key man.
I'm saying the price behavior of this thing, basically. Yeah, yes, there are nuanced takes, which I agree. I think the thing that you're saying, you're right about the preferred shares. There are only certain organizations that buy that. There's only certain organizations that buy bonds. There's people there's restrictions on what different organizations can buy. But the price action that I'm talking, you are in some regard holding the Bitcoin because of your belief in the price, right? Like if it was price go down technology, you wouldn't be raving about the product.
Yeah.
So the comparable to say that stocks go down, you could bring the same attitude and it would be the right attitude overall, because over the long term, stocks just go up. That's the reality of a lot of those things. Now, individual stocks, maybe not as much, right? The S&P is always rotating. The NASDAQ's always rotating who's in the index. So you don't have one thing that's stuck in there, basically. But like, you could theoretically say the same thing. And as it applies to the video content or the show, we're just talking about news, basically saying like, here's what happened over the weekend. the price went down. Oh my God, it went down. We're all in pain. And that's the, and then you're like, but is Bitcoin really down? Is it really down though?
I was saying it's safe because it is. I understand the price went down by 6%, but that literally doesn't matter. Real quick, I want to call out a comment from longtime listener.
But it doesn't matter because that's the news. That's just the, it's the, my analysis is not saying the video was not is Bitcoin going to go up over the long term? That was not the video. The video is just, oh my God, it's down right now.
I like your news videos. I think they're very good and fun, and they hit hard. Like, you got to make a news video on the MicroStrategy offering. Obviously, it should be a special news video that's like extra special with long copy, and like you should do 2 videos on it. It
I'm
should be
skipping it.
No, that would no. If you skip it, I'll be pissed. That's bullshit. But real quick, Null, longtime listener of the show, like Null, he's got the Wasi profile picture. He said, we want to talk about Ansem and Kanye meeting up, not the Bitcoin freight train delivering Bitcoin cakes. The Bitcoin freight train delivering Bitcoin cakes is what matters. Kanye and Ansem meeting up doesn't matter. Obviously, it's cool that Ansem got to hang out in person with Kanye. I guess it's tough because Kanye is wearing swastikas and shit.
I was gonna say, you think he asked Ansem to wear the shirt?
I don't know. It's a tough one. He also posted on Instagram a picture of him in a Ku Klux Klan robe. So there's a lot going on in the Kanye universe right now. It's not.
I just muted him. I was like a while ago. I was like, I can't. I'm done. This was a good run.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not that bad at the moment. At the moment, he's just saying he hasn't fucked any fat bitches ever. I swear to God, on the Bible. That's his latest stuff. So comparatively, it's actually not that bad.
He said that today.
He said that today.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants news on the Kanye and Ansem situation, basically Kanye released a video that was like somewhat muted audio of them talking. Kanye asking Ansem what a blockchain is, and Ansem giving him some like dumbed down answer that would make sense to Kanye. And that was essentially the long and short of it, as Kanye continues to try to figure out how to launch a token.
Ansem's smart. He objectively is.
Yeah. I mean, Ansem sounded smart. He did a good job explaining it to Kanye. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more meat on the bone here. We've talked about this. Kanye at some point is going to drop a coin. Whoever he talks to between now and then is going to be just kind of like whatever.
Yo, is this true? Null said that Antonio Brown and Joe Rogan, which, by the way, when I saw that happened, that Antonio Brown went on Joe Rogan, I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's allowed to happen. And I noticed it's the shortest Joe Rogan episode in a long time. Maybe the shortest ever. It was only 1 hour and 45 minutes. They rarely go less than 2 hours, because I was like, is Antonio Brown going to be able to make it through this podcast? So I did not watch it, obviously. But Null said AB and Joe Rogan talked a bit about crypto. Jamie said crypto is dead and it's over. That's wild. I did not know that happened. Very interesting. That's a representation of the mainstream right there. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Antonio Brown is working with the Bark Meta guys that basically just continue to scam crypto. There was a selfie, I think, of Joe Rogan and Bark, as well as like the pictures of Antonio Brown from around that. So I'm sure there's all kinds of like weird stuff going on there. I can't imagine that Joe Rogan walked away from that interview feeling more bullish on crypto not being a scam. So that had to be just like a huge negative for crypto in general. So just wasn't very happy to see that.
Okay, he said meme coins are dead and over, which is, I mean, I don't think that's actually true, but I understand why he would say that.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
All right, moving on. We saw a ton of price action over the weekend. We dropped Bitcoin below 80K, ETH below 2K. Crypto greed and fear index fell to 20, which is now categorized as extreme fear. Are you buying here? Are you waiting to see some sort of turnaround? Do you think we go lower? Nick, what are the charts potentially telling us right now in terms of the majors? If you could pull some data up so we can kind of make some informed decisions on the market and kind of where it may be heading.
They're telling us the same thing as last week, Ray. Hold on 1 second. I mean, we're down. We're down at the moment. That's where we're looking. This just doesn't look. This is not my clean chart. Sorry.
Looks pretty clean. There's only 4 lines horizontally.
Here, oh my God! Now I'm on the 1 minute.
Oh,
This has gone out of control. Oh wow, we're right on a level that I. Oh, this is Solana. My bad. Wow, Solana's on a key level, huh?
Basically, everything is.
Yeah. If we break below this, Bitcoin 72, 73. Solana, I had said on the show the other week, I said 80, 85, something like that. Well, what's the number over down there? Let's see.
89 maybe.
I'm gonna go to the more lines one, see where I call this thing down. Yeah,
Not only does he have a lot of lines, but he also has multiple charts with different lines.
I could see this breaking down pretty low. The thing is, though, it's like, well, I'm interested to see what the S&P does. Right now, it's not looking super hot. NASDAQ down 2%. Huge gap on the NASDAQ. Wow. This is what you're looking at. What crypto is just front running what's happening in the rest of the market, basically, at this point in time. So I've added a whopping 10K of Bitcoin in this during this dump, but I'll because you can't stop the Bitcoin freight train, people. And the
Nick, I bought some as well because I'm so humbled to recognize that this is just a sick buying opportunity. I'm so humble, and this is great, right?
I think this is Antoine Algene with the safe haven.
that's pretty funny.
That should be illegal.
It really should be illegal.
Yeah, it just doesn't look great. I mean, when it was really bearish yesterday, I was like, you could buy for a nice little scalp here pretty much anything because it was down so bad. Yesterday's sell-off was brutal. And it really kind of like closed at the bottom. I don't know. I mean, you get a little bit of a relief rally. I think we still continue to dump. That said, there was a chart that I was looking at, and maybe it's on like maybe the hour is the one that you're looking for associated with this. Yeah, so I mean, we dumped down here before, but yeah, this level is interesting on Bitcoin. Down, well, 80K. I think it's just like you don't need a technical chart to look at the fact that it's just a whole number. I think is an interesting place. We bounced off of it, and so like I didn't have a line here on any sort of technical thing. The only thing I see is just the fact that the price is 80K, and it's just people like they're like, wow, it's down to 80. If it goes to like below 80, it goes to 70. Like, I mean, it's really like it's kind of like it is. People think as simple as that, and yeah, we'll have to see if we can reclaim anything here. It doesn't feel super great. It also didn't feel great when we were when did we sell? Solana had dumped the other like down here, and it was like, yeah, we should probably cut our bags around here, and we did. Then it dumped. I don't know. The weird one with, I mean, Solana going as low as it has is crazy. I've been watching Fred Krueger bull posting Solana. He's like now a Solana maxi. It's incredible.
He's cooked.
Seeing the transition.
He's cooked.
No, he's bringing up good points, Pio.
Well, no, he is smart, but dude, there's just something. The flip flopping is so like the contrast is so intense.
He's also launched 3 meme coins on Sol, which is like pretty funny to me. He just kind of was like, "Fuck it, let's just pump out some shitters and see what happens." I'm like,
And the
wow,
third
wow.
This last one, and it didn't even graduate. It didn't even graduate. You can't even graduate a token on Pump Fund.
It lasted 5 minutes. I posted it on the Choose Rich Live app to all 30 people that have been able to manage to like get into the beta of the app because it's just a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna put in the app store is what's gonna happen. But what was I gonna say? The overall, yeah, well, I think his vibe was actually interesting as it applies to Solana, just in the sense of like 80% of on-chain activity is happening on Solana right now, which is pretty crazy, and that's a hell of a transition, because ETH last cycle was dominating Solana in a major way on all charts that you looked at. And so you could be like, this is the baby brother to ETH, but now it's just like absolutely crushing all fronts, basically. What's that?
Not so much lately. Radium, third overall right now in terms of DEX volume, Uniswap and PancakeSwap. So ETH, BNB topping it. Base is up here at 4. Jupiter is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, you're looking at DeFi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this isn't the right metric to look at for what Nick's talking about. Nick's actually talking about Krueger.
Click on the chain. Click on chains on the left. No, down. No. Oh my God, you're back under DeFi.
Chains.
There was chains where you were volume. No, go down to volume.
Volume.
You were literally just on it, and you just didn't want to click on it.
Different buttons. There you go. We're looking at
it was literally the link directly under the one that you were on.
All right.
Just scroll down. Oh my God.
Ethereum, number 1.
Okay. Well, right now it's pretty close. So it's even Solana and ETH. But like, yeah.
But this is volume. Is this the same? Isn't Krueger just pointing out overall activity? Would that be quantity of transactions?
Probably. Yep. And quantity of transactions is a little bit misleading. The argument was that chart did successfully compare it. Even at this price, though, it's kind of wild. It's like 1 for 1 with ETH, which is pretty insane.
Yes.
Considering that like USDC is primarily on ETH. Is the main chain that you're migrating that from. I think that's like pretty freaking wild. The fact that base is at 819 million is kind of surprising.
High or low?
High?
Yeah, why is it so high? Is that because of the random token that dropped, the Doge alternative?
The Doge founder, yeah, Kokoranu or whatever the hell it was.
Kokoro.
The 7-day volume, 6 billion.
Click on base though. Click on base. Yeah, it's down. Can we look at similarly with the Solana chart?
Yeah, I mean everything's going to be down.
What? Oh my God! There was the link. You were circling the link. You were circling the link that said Solana. Here's a quick tip, right? Look down underneath the chart. See how it goes Solana, BSC, base horizontally. You can click on those.
Thank you.
Okay. But let's look at this chart. Well, that one looks bad.
Yeah, well, this is Trump. This is the Trump coin, essentially. The launch into the next couple days of trading and then down. I mean, we're at levels now below.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, we're levels below pre-election levels.
Thanks, Trump.
Real quick, Ray, can we watch my boy Tom Lee?
All 4 minutes?
We don't have to do the 4 minutes, but let's just
real quick before you click play, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the president for his leadership, for him stewarding us in to the crypto world that we now are living in. We couldn't have done it without this president. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your vision. And thanks for your deep understanding of the value of crypto.
All right. So anyway, let's run this Tom Lee video real quick. Here we go.
I'm trying to find, where's my screen?
Ray?
I'm trying to find my screen. It wasn't showing up on the list of screens, so I have to restart it. All right, here we go.
All right.
Ray?
So the investors view this as a crisis when it's really a growth scare. So to me, I think there's a good chance we're making our lows for the first half, like this week. And
like down 5-6%, you mean?
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is I'm not that optimistic about the job picture for the near term. So maybe that's one last leg. But the reality is that a lot of bad news has gotten priced in. So Bitcoin is down. It's actually not a surprise to our clients because Mark Newton, our head of technical strategy, really pointed out the cycles in mid-January that he was targeting 62,000 for Bitcoin by the end of March. So we're actually on our way to 62. But that's not a bearish development. It's just a retracement. If someone is playing AI.
What is that transition? Hold on, I want to keep listening, but holy shit. For those listening right now, there is a video transition where the guy thought you might as well call it earthquake because the guy thought that it was a good idea to shake the whole screen.
The sound effect too.
Yeah, I think the bottom might be in.
He's like, it's not bearish that it's going to 6,200, and then like,
Yeah, the price action lately seems that the bottom might be in.
I don't know. This guy was not saying 62 the other week. What the hell? That wasn't what he said on CNBC when he went on there.
Tom Lee is in my opinion, a pretty good talking head on TV for sure. Yeah, I mean, we know it's a buy the dip opportunity. I just don't want to blow my wad on like just one buy. I want to DCA in and DCA through the whole bottom. So Clemente got a whole Bitcoin. Clemente got a whole Bitcoin.
And I'm down 10 grand on it. I'm down 10K. But no, I feel good.
But how many chairs are there, Clemente? How many chairs are there? What time is dinner?
I'm down 10K, but I'm the most humble guy I know. So like it doesn't even faze me because I'm not stopping the Bitcoin freight train. I had so much cake yesterday, it was criminal. No, I was panicking like during January because I was like, dude, Solana's up, everything's up, but I don't have enough Bitcoin. Like if I sell, I'm buying at 110K Bitcoin. I'm screwed.
I got a question for Pio. When the price goes down and your mom's portfolio goes down, do you tell her about that? And what does she give you the same words of encouragement and support when the portfolio goes down that she gives when the price is up?
Hold on, I'm gonna send Ray screenshots of the portfolio right now. Just give me a second. I gotta log in.
oh man, is Twitter down again?
Why don't you just tell us?
I think so.
Well, she's up hundreds of thousands of dollars through the pullbacks. Because I buy Bitcoin when ETF is filed by BlackRock. Crazy idea. Wow, BlackRock filed an ETF. Probably buy MicroStrategy and Coinbase. Might be a good idea. Wow, ETF drops and Bitcoin costs 43K. Probably plow into the ETF.
Okay, when mom's portfolio is down 35-40%, what does she say?
She doesn't know that it's happening.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, so there's the question.
We'd stop talking about it until the price goes up.
He goes when it's pumping and says, "Look, your boy's a genius."
Nick, you download the Instalink app and fix this camera shake? Do you have the Instalink app installed or no?
I'm gonna take care of that. Is it annoying you, Ray?
On the same topic, my wife's like, "Why is our Robinhood down 5K?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like we bought MicroStrategy back in November," and she's like, "Why the fuck would you do that with the money in there?" I was like, "You wanted more Bitcoin exposure, blah blah blah." I sent you this message on like Google, and you put a heart on it. I was like, that means you agreed with the decision. You gave a heart to that decision. Now she's coming back. She's like, I never agreed to that. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, who's with me on this? A heart constitutes a agreement.
No,
Listen, Ray.
no, a heart
Listen,
constitutes that I saw your message. I
Listen,
saw your
Ray.
message. That is
No.
it. It is not. It is not. It is no. A
Hey,
thumbs
no.
up is go ahead. No, a clear thumbs up. It's got a heart. Is just like I
Hey,
love you,
Ray.
Ray. I've seen your message.
Even if they saw the message, the price went down. You're in the wrong. Smile and nod. Say you're sorry. Pick up some flowers and say, listen, dinner's at 5.
Dinner was not at 5 yesterday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, you don't say dinner. Well, maybe that is the day you say dinner's at 5. Honey, today's dinner's at 5, which means I'm the one cooking it.
Let me talk to your wife, Ray. Let me talk.
Oh my
Let me talk
God.
to your wife, Ray.
I don't know if she's ready for the Bitcoin freight train right now, Pio.
I want to chat.
Nobody wants Pio to talk to their wife.
Pio's MicroStrategy podcast.
Not even
next
husbands.
guest, Ray's
No.
wife.
Will your wife come on my podcast?
Yeah, that'd be so funny. Explaining MicroStrategy stock to a normie.
When I drive
That
up,
should be a great episode.
I'd love to do it. When I drive up north, I'd love to stop by your home on the way and hang out for lunch and have a conversation. I also sent you the screenshots to put in Nick's face after what he was saying. Let me know if
You answered it. You didn't tell your mom. I'm not asking how the portfolio is over the life of the portfolio. I know that it's up, but but you confirmed what I said, which was that you don't tell her.
If Pio speaks to Ray's wife, Nick gets to speak to Pio's mom about portfolio numbers and what they mean.
Yeah, my mom's going to be like, cool, don't care. I actually would love to see Nick explain Bitcoin shit to my mom. I'd be curious to see how that goes. I'd just be interested to see what Nick would say. Because, I feel like the software engineers, man, it's just tough with the Bitcoin because they're like, I want to use the Bitcoin to make an iPhone app. And I'm like, it's not it's money. We don't have to stick the app.
Did I say that? Pio gets very defensive and attacks, which is funny for someone that's so confident in where they're at, right? And so humble. It's funny that you need to be aggressive in your attacks of other people. It is interesting. It is interesting. To me, it feels like a vulnerability.
Okay.
It feels like, and you're aware of the vulnerability, but you're not willing to acknowledge it. Very Trumpian of you. By the way, Ray, I can't stop this fucking camera from doing what it's doing. Literally,
I can't either.
It says can't connect to the camera.
Clemente, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, we haven't talked about anything that happened in the last 3 days. I would love to cover the crypto summit and the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve signing and what that
I'm gonna go grab water. I'll be right back. But
well, real quick before you go, Nick, did you see the picture of all the guys at the crypto summit lined up at the desk or whatever, the long table?
Yeah.
Seeing that was what the summit turned out to be, in my head I was like, dude, if Nick could have gotten a spot at that would be the funniest thing of all time on the planet. You got
sitting at the table,
just everybody, Saylor, Armstrong. No, you just with your face, the face you made in the medieval picture. Yeah, exactly.
Glasses on.
That would be my Super Bowl. That would be the funniest thing of all time. But anyway,
it felt like the Last Supper. I was trying to figure out who's Judas in this Last Supper.
It was going around, except I don't think at the Last Supper, I don't think everybody was praising Jesus. I don't think that's what happened because
they were, except for Judas. Yeah, they were. They were like, thanks for cooking this dinner. We got Bitcoin dessert. You're great, Jesus. And then Judas is like, I put poison in your Bitcoin
Do you
dessert.
think Jesus needed the same level of praise that Trump got? You think that's
he was a humble guy. He was a humble guy. I don't think he did. I really don't think he was humble like Pio. I don't think he needed that level of praise.
I agree.
Look,
I think he was humble.
Let's get Clemente into this because he did some really good coverage on this. So Clemente, you had your hand up. Take it away.
Let's go.
Well, I was just curious what you guys thought about it. I had my own the crypto summit part that we watched was just the worst. That was just the biggest glaze fest of all time. I hated every second of that we were basically treating everyone was on their hands and knees just, oh, thank you so much, Trump. You saved our industry. We would be lost without you. And he's just sitting there, has no idea what Bitcoin is. And he's just reading off the David Sachs script. I do like everything that they were talking about in the initiatives of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. What I was curious about, I saw Pio tweet this out, and I was like, oh, I hadn't even thought about this. David Sachs talking to the All In podcast and just basically saying that they don't know. They need to do an audit of what the United States actually owns from a digital asset perspective. I'm very curious where that stuff is stored. Like, do they have a ledger? Like, what all this stuff is going on? And then making it I'm curious, will they sell any of the assets that they have to buy Bitcoin? For example, they have a Bored Ape in that wallet. And are they just going to be like, hey, let's floor this Bored Ape and just buy Bitcoin with it? Like, I'm very curious to see when this audit happens. Will they sell ETH? Will they look at some of the once people get a hold of the shitcoin of their Solana wallet, they're going to be making shitcoins. Like, are they just going to nuke some of these holdings to buy Bitcoin? That's what I was curious about.
I got zero idea how any of that's going to play out. This is like some of the most fascinating shit of all time. Like, how are they going to do this? How is it custodied? Like, they have a Bored Ape. I didn't know that. What?
That's crazy. People, the commenter is calling me Judas. I'm Jewish, not Judas.
That was Judas.
And Jesus was at that supper. He was still Jewish. Okay.
He was Jewish the whole time. He was always Jewish.
But yeah, the dude was Jewish. But back to the government, like, dude, so if Saylor gets to help the US figure out ways to get Bitcoin without, using taxpayer dollars, which seems to be the big sticking point. Well, when you think about it, man, when you saw the State of the Union address and you look in the crowd at both sides, not just the Democrats, but both sides, and you look at these like old crusties, you have to think that these people, when someone talks about buying Bitcoin, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, what are you talking about? So the way that this all plays out, I don't think it happens overnight. I think it takes a long time. I think it gets to the point where the nations don't have a choice because they find out that another global superpower like a Russia or a China is actually focused on it. I don't think that the train of fiat debasement stops. I don't think anybody thinks that it stops. Trump will print money. It will happen. And the other interesting thing is if these savings from Doge are real, the Department of Government Efficiency, because Elon now is saying that he thinks he can find 1 trillion of savings. And I think the national debt is something like 6 or 7 trillion total or something like that. So you're talking about knocking 1 trillion out in savings right there. So there's a lot of really wild stuff going on that I almost can't believe, because I feel like it's too good to be true that the government would actually let Elon Musk go in there and save a bunch of money because of the way the government is run. So yeah, like all this stuff with what they do with the existing holdings that they have, how they figure out ways to acquire more Bitcoin if they do that. This stuff is fascinating. It's crazy. Yeah. I have no idea.
The debt is 36 trillion.
Oh, 36 trillion. Got it.
The federal spending is 7 trillion.
Got it. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And the yearly budget deficit looks like 2 trillion.
2 trillion.
Got it. That makes sense.
So here's
Are we both looking at the US debt clock site?
Yeah.
Here's the government's holdings in terms of crypto: 16.4 billion of Bitcoin, 128 million of Ethereum, 122 million of Tether, another 62 wrapped Bitcoin, 22 million.
I don't think they're going to sell it, because it sounds like there was a David Sachs clip with Jason Calacanis where essentially he was saying like, yeah, the Treasury Department will figure out how they want to allocate things. I can't see a world where they're like going in and just dumping shit, like, and they're not like actively trading this stuff. At this point, it's just holding on to it. I saw some conspiracy theory also yesterday, which X is great for, that basically they've been, as to rebel against Trump, they've been dumping the Bitcoin, basically. It was one conspiracy that I saw. And I'm like, man, you guys are like, because they need an explanation for why the price is going down. Like they need, like, because in their mind, it should only go up according to whoever these X people are.
So we talked about this on Friday. I got made fun of, but we're seeing a lot of speculation now on the selling of gold and tapping into treasury funds to buy Bitcoin. Standard Chartered suggested this on X last week. But I mean, technically selling gold to buy Bitcoin would be taxpayer neutral and treasury neutral.
The ultimate move would be to sell the gold to our biggest enemy, which I guess would be China. So dump the gold to them and then buy Bitcoin with it. So you demonetize gold. You sell the top of gold to China, dump it on them, and they just have this shiny rock that doesn't matter, and you have Bitcoin.
So essentially, you're like a leading KOL, and the #1 runner has been out for a while. You dump all that, you buy the beta play, and you pump the beta play.
Me and Signal having a good chuckle over here.
About what?
About your US Treasury. You get the gold, you dump it on China, then they're left with a shiny rock, and you buy Bitcoin.
Yo, you dumped the gold in those Chinese ass motherfuckers.
You know what? I want to like cheer for you so much, Pio, and then you come out with sentences like that.
The Chinese are like, yeah, give us the most valuable asset of all time, of all history, and we'll give you the magical internet money that South Korea or North Korea is going to hack away from you. You frame it from the other side. But I do want to talk about strategy and gold here because at the crypto summit, Michael Saylor laid out the plans for the United States to acquire additional Bitcoin and plans of that. Basically wants to acquire 5 to 25% of the Bitcoin network, hold it forever, potential to generate $10+ trillion annually was his pitch to Trump during this conference.
Look at that. Yeah, and by the way, I think that's going to happen with the gold.
I got made fun of on Friday for even thinking that could be a topic of discussion at the crypto summit.
Here's the price of gold over time, or the gold ETF, which is not corollary to the price of actual gold.
Yeah, you can look up spot gold.
I mean, it's not bad. You're like dump this worthless, shit.
Yeah,
the
gold,
chart looks pretty good.
It's 7x'd in like 40 years. It's good, but Bitcoin's better.
Yeah, this is Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. No, but it's not about the price, though, when it comes to this. Of course, the price of gold's gone up. It's that gold doesn't actually have insane value to human beings at this point the way that it once did. And we now have a digital version that's just way better. Gold served its purpose as the best money humans had for thousands of years. It was a big deal. If you look at the history of money, gold was huge because before that we literally used like seashells, then we used furs and things like that. Gold gave us a universal option, which was awesome. And it is a shiny rock, though. That is what it is. It's literally that simple that humans saw it and we're like, I like that shiny rock. That thing shines. That shit's crazy. That's actually what happened.
Right, but you could also say that Bitcoin's magical internet money, and that's what it actually is.
But if you understand that Bitcoin is backed by the most robust decentralized proof of work network in the world.
Magic.
Magic?
If you're trying to explain this to somebody who's like a normie, that's magic.
It is magic.
It's magic.
Right. It's actually magic. It's actually insane how magical the thing is. I actually agree with you.
I just like my big flaw with all of it is like, dude, what happens if the internet just shuts off?
If the whole world goes North Korea mode, the entire planet, then yeah, that's an issue for Bitcoin. The whole planet goes North Korea mode. Bitcoin cannot.
I've been watching a lot of sci-fi movies, and they go through a lot of that. So, like, what if it happens? You know, then Bitcoin's just smoked. I mean, obviously, there's bigger issues than like re-eating canned beans for a couple of years, but like, it is still like the internet.
Yep, every single full North Korea mode, whole world. That's the situation. That's right.
Not seeing good things out of the Dow here after it opened with that huge gap and down additional.
Oh, the whole market's just taking a massive shit. And I was worried about that this morning too. I was like, the market's green, but futures are terribly, terribly red. Like terribly red. So I was kind of like, this rally is probably going to get sold off into. The other big concern is
Solana rollover down towards 117. It's at 123.54 right now.
The bigger concern is ETH is green. Every time ETH is green when the market's red, it signifies a much larger dump ahead. Like we're smoked.
Over the weekend, that wasn't great. I think I might open a short on Bitcoin after we.
No, you open the short on ETH.
That's the guaranteed. That's the best one.
Look at the three charts. ETH is still green. Sol and Bitcoin both just made newer lows. ETH hasn't. You open the short on this and you short the shit out of it to 1990.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is dumping too. Everything's red right now, but yes.
But it's higher lows.
Yeah. So one thing to watch out for this week is we have CPI.
How many chairs are there, Pio? How many chairs?
One chair.
One thing to watch out for is that we do have CPI data coming Wednesday. So a lot of the sell-off could be fears there because this is going to be one of the major movers in terms of inflation. CPI, the Consumer Price Index, could affect monetary policy. Probably not for next week's rate cut. That's almost looking like it's going to guarantee to be no cut. But the next cut next month potentially seeing movement there depending on what happens to the CPI. So we could see more market turbulence leading into this, and then either a rally or a future dump depending on how this data comes in on Wednesday. So I think we're just in for like choppy seas for the next 2 days.
Why wouldn't you take a little nibble here? Why wouldn't you just take a little of this dip? Like I saw people calling for 74K Bitcoin. So it's down another 5%, 7% from here.
Could go 10% down. We could see 10% down right now. So 10% down. I think that could happen.
What about 15%?
I mean, it may go down 15%. I could see that. Could see 15. That's another number.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like 80K. I mean, yeah, it goes down to 70, right? But maybe you take a little.
I think it could go down to 70. Definitely could go down to 70. If it goes down below 70, then we could see it down towards 60. Below 60, it would go towards 50. So those are sort of some of the numbers that I'm seeing right now.
This is a glorified counting show. What number comes before 50? I could go down to 50. The real question is, there's a point in which there becomes trouble with like liquidations, market makers, and exchanges being solvent, etc. That like there is a tipping point in my head somewhere in that probably like 50 to 40 range where things get just like massively ugly, maybe even like around 60. And then like it could spiral from there. I know MicroStrategy doesn't technically have a liquidation point, but I mean, listen.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing they're going to have to sell it. I've been hearing that MicroStrategy is going to have to sell the Bitcoin. You know, once you got, and I've seen Michael Saylor talk about it. He usually says below 60 is 50. That's kind of some of the conversations that I've seen him have. Him and I are in agreement, you know, and
he also said below 50 is 40. It was pretty simple.
I consider him a visionary when he counts like that. So things get pretty sketchy out there sometimes. Makes you want to stay safe.
Before we wrap up the show,
what will Pio's mom say if Bitcoin goes down to 50K?
The Bitcoin show will just be what Pio's mom, and then we'll have Ray's wife all being like, "Yo, what's going on right now?"
It's gonna be like, "Where's the portfolio? Why is it down so bad?"
I'm picturing the thumbnail for that. They're just like scolding Pio.
And Pio's just like,
I wanted to chat with Ray's wife about Bitcoin.
All right, before we wrap up the show today, we want to give one big shout out again to RecTech. We're going to play a little Devil Rug live. RecTech is the premier daily crypto game show platform. They've been around since the last cycle with Internet Game. They are building a game show prize giveaway platform, trying to be an entertainment leader in the crypto industry. We're playing their daily game right now, Devil Rug. I'm trying to make as much money here before the Dev Rugs me, and I'm going to take a nice little 1.4x gainer.
Ray, full port it and leave it in for a 4.2x.
Nope. I'm doing it on a new account. We can do that. That one's saving. I have 8 accounts. I did 8 of the Dream Passes last week, so I can be as risky or as safe on these as I want. Okay, we're going to leave this one. Let's go. 1.5.
2x.
No,
Sell.
4.2.
Sell.
Boom. There we go. 3.47.
You would have hit the 4.2. You would
No.
have hit.
No.
It said 7.24 was the max. You would have hit 4.2.
Do you know what my strategy with this game is? I wait until I get 20x.
Here we go, Ray.
This one's gonna rug.
Oh,
You should have left the last one for 4.2. You should have listened to me, but no. You had to be on your high horse and think you were doing the right thing. Dinner's at 6 now.
Real quick.
Might not have dinner tonight. We'll talk to my wife. Get her
My
on.
turn. Let me just show you real quick how I play this game. I've set it at $40 every time, and the target.
$40.
Yeah, and you're going for
It's a fucking
20x
bump.
every time. So you're going for a 20x. If it rugs, it rugs. But I think that this thing, I go for somewhere around 20.
It's unreal. What's going on here?
And so that's what I'm always
Oh my
going for.
God.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I
I've
took it
never
out of
seen
10.
Go that high.
You would have
Shit,
hit the 20x.
I could have gone to 20, yeah.
I
So
went to 43.
so if it goes, if it doesn't hit that level, then I just let it rug. So you just got to allow it to rug and have patience to say, like, I'm going to send it to a 20,
Nick
basically.
Has a juiced account. Nick has a juiced account.
Yeah,
This
what's
is-
going on here? This is definitely just a video.
No, I don't. No. I always wait for it to go to at least 20. It's the number that I'm always just kind of waiting on. See, I got rugged.
Ooh. Go
I've
all in.
never
Nick.
had that high level ever.
It's because you are impatient.
I
And
think it's affected by how much you bet.
Yeah.
no.
So
I-
go
I get-
all in. Go all in and try.
No, that you're missing the point. You're missing the
Yeah,
strategy.
go all in and try, coward.
You're
Nick,
missing
just
how.
try- you have multiple accounts. Is this Clemente sucks?
Yes. I don't have multiple accounts.
Oh, you only have one pass.
Oh wait, I have 4 passes. I should be playing
That's
with all
4
those.
different accounts.
Yeah. You should be playing with all
Whoops.
those. So, so
Next
go
thing you
all
you're
in.
trying to play with $40 on this game 100 times. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the. I'm
This
winning.
is just weird.
I'm up
Nick-
20% right now. I don't understand. That's how you play this game. That's the best way to do it.
This is just what Nick does all day.
Dude's
Farm
weird.
$40.
Why don't you make it $5, Nick? Why don't you make it $5? Get more in there. Less variance.
No, I have 40. Are you saying why not wait till it gets a 5x?
Where'd you come up with 40 from?
Oh, I just pick a number. Usually it's like 20, 30, 40, something like that.
All right, we got to wrap.
Okay.
Nick's gonna do this all day.
But look at this. This is going pretty well.
I'm gonna dip.
All right,
Yeah, I
so I'm
gotta
going to
go.
share Ansem's games coming up today. We've got awesome prizes for Ansem's game. If you don't have a Dream Pass, you can buy one on Magic Eden, Tensor, etc. They come preloaded with whatever XP has been earned on them. So make sure you check that XP level because you might find a deal around the floor. Prizes include a Rolex, Cleanastar NFTs, and Dreamer NFTs. Dreamer NFTs are the PFP collection for RecTech that's upcoming. You can win a bunch of these free. Getting up on the leaderboard gives you a allow list. These are going to be multipliers to your experience. They are going to give you a better chance at winning in these tournaments and allow you to rock a customized RecTech PFP. You've seen Ansem rocking his RecTech PFP on X lately. They're pretty sick. So join today, buy in. You got an hour and 43 minutes before Ansem's game kicks off at noon Eastern time. Magic Eden, Tensor to get your Dream Passes. They're above floor. We gave you the alpha last week. We're giving you the alpha again right here. You're going to want to get involved with RecTech. Love working with them. Love the product they are building. Perfect game for a potential bear market. That being said, we've had a great show today. We've been running for 76 wonderful minutes. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about before we wrap? No. All right. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a wonderful show. We've had a wonderful Monday here. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Spotify. Catch us on Apple. Watch
Yeah,
us
wrap
back
it
on
up.
YouTube.
Let's wrap it up, dude.
Watch us back on YouTube.
Your
You can see our
outro is
favorite
like
faces.
20
See you later.
minutes
See you
long.
tomorrow, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. This is the Daily Bone Podcast. Bye.
Yo, see you guys.